Sometimes you walk through a city without paying much attention, and suddenly something shifts inside you. It's not fear, it's not joy. It's a quiet signal, as if an ancient part of you suddenly wakes up. You're standing in front of a cathedral, a pyramid, or a building you've never seen before, and still your body reacts. Your skin tingles, your breathing slows down, something tightens in your chest. And even though your mind can't explain it, your body remembers. You're not seeing with your eyes, you're remembering with something deeper, a memory without words. Maybe it's the proportion, the alignment, or the echo of a geometry you've seen before, just not in this lifetime. Some places don't need to be familiar to feel known. They recognize you. They pull something out of you, and that reaction is too exact to be coincidence. Ancient civilizations knew something we've forgotten. Shapes don't just look a certain way, they feel a certain way. A pyramid doesn't just point to the sky, it realigns you from within. A perfect circle doesn't just enclose space, it activates something in whoever observes it. Cultures separated by oceans and centuries left behind the same patterns. They didn't know each other, yet they built the same designs. Why? Because they were remembering something older, a truth passed down not through language, but geometry, and that geometry is still alive. When you stand next to one of those forms, something inside you responds. It doesn't matter what you believe or where you're from. There are shapes that bypass the mind. They speak to the body. They remind you of something your thoughts forgot. And in that moment, something inside you reawakens. Imagine a spiral carved into stone, a golden triangle glowing under sunlight, an arch that seems to hold the sky with its curve alone. At first glance, it all looks like architecture. But if you stay quiet, you feel it differently. It's not just construction. It's a message. Not meant for the mind, but for the skin, for emotional memory. Some shapes touch you without contact. They calm you without words. They reveal something you didn't know you needed. That's living architecture. It doesn't aim to impress. It aims to awaken. And when it does, something shifts inside. Because a structure that resonates with you is not made only of stone. It's made of intention. And your body recognizes it. Because somewhere, at another time, you felt the same thing. You're not discovering something new. You're remembering something that's always been in you. There are places you don't need to visit to know they would change you. You see them in pictures, and already, you feel something. As if your body remembers being there, even if your mind insists it never happened. These places aren't just built to host people. They're built to awaken memory. They are emotional maps made of stone, light, and proportion. Some temples make you fall silent. Some domes seem to open your chest. Some staircases feel like they rise inside your consciousness, not just under your feet. Everything is placed with purpose, to resonate with you. Even if you don't understand why, you feel it. Because that design speaks a language you never forgot, one that doesn't use words, but leaves traces. Emotional architecture doesn't decorate the world, it transforms it from within. And once you step into one of those places, you never walk out the same. Think about ancient labyrinths. They weren't just confusing paths, they were symbolic maps of the soul. Every turn, every dead end, every open corridor had meaning. They weren't meant to trap you, but to help you find yourself. Walking through one wasn't just a physical journey, it was emotional. You didn't need to understand it for your body to respond. It knew when a shape calmed you, when a curve helped you breathe deeper, when a space invited you to look inward. That's why emotional architecture isn't measured in meters. It's measured in impact, in how it alters your thoughts, your breath, your pace. Some places don't just exist. You feel them move through you. And when they do, they leave something behind. You may forget the details, but not the sensation. And that sensation stays with you, because something inside was touched in just the right way. Some spaces were never built to be understood, but to be felt. It doesn't matter if you know their history, their date, or their original function. What matters is how they shift your state. You walk in feeling one way and walk out changed. It's almost alchemy. These places don't just organize matter, they reorganize you. There are domes that amplify silence, columns that seem to hold time itself, windows that don't just let in light, they project memory. And none of that is random. It's all intention. Design aimed not at your eyes, but your energy. And when you step into that intention, something inside of you realigns. You might not know why, but you feel it, as if something in you had been off. And that space knew how to bring you back to center. That doesn't come from blueprints. That comes from a different kind of consciousness. Sometimes it's not the structure that moves you, but the emptiness it contains. There are rooms that feel alive, spaces where silence weighs more than sound, where every step echoes like the space itself is listening. That doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of a design that understands emptiness also communicates. Not everything needs to be filled. Sometimes something greater needs space to speak. And often, that something is you. In places like these, you don't just look, you feel seen. You don't just exist, you are touched by the light, the balance, the invisible tension humming through the air. And when that happens, you're no longer inside a building, you're inside an experience, one that can't be described, only lived. And once you've lived it, something lingers, because something inside was activated without being touched at all. Many of these places were built without digital plans, without machines, without modern tools. And yet, they achieve something rare today. They move you. Not through spectacle, but through harmony. Through what you don't see, but deeply feel. Because true emotional architecture doesn't aim to impress your eyes. It realigns your inner space. And it does so with sacred proportions, with materials that breathe alongside the land, with perfect alignment to the sun, the moon, the stars. Everything is intentional. Even if you can't explain it, your body can. That's why, when you walk into one of these places, you don't just take pictures. You take something else. A kind of awareness that behind the form, there is a silent intelligence. One that doesn't shout, but transforms. And even now, it's still speaking. Only this time, it speaks directly to you. Maybe that's why some structures stay with you. Even if you've only seen them once, they linger. Not because of their size, not because of their history, but because of how they made you feel. Some shapes awaken something ancient inside, a vibration beyond logic. And maybe that's why you're here, because some part of you is searching for that echo, that signal that doesn't come from outside, but from a memory buried in your body. Emotional architecture isn't something you study, it's something you recognize, something you feel. And when it happens, something shifts. You realize you're not reacting to the world. You're remembering something that's always been within you. Something that responds to shape, to rhythm, to symbol. And now, it's beginning to wake up. If something stirred in you while listening, it wasn't random. It was connection.